I'm Greg.
And I'm Mary, and this is Greg and Mary's RV Adventure.
This video takes us to our last two stops in New Mexico. The first one was Oasis State Park near Portales, New Mexico. And this one here is Ute, U-T-E State Park, and it's near
Logan, New Mexico.
New Mexico. So this video
shows you the campgrounds.
Yeah.
The campgrounds were pretty nice.
Overall, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, overall they were all nice. Most of them were very level. We haven't had any trouble leveling our RV.
That's a blessing. In Pennsylvania, you folks back there know sometimes it's pretty difficult to get level. Here, you're almost level as soon as you pull in, no matter where you're at.
Yeah. My only issue with the state parks and New Mexico, and it looks like Oklahoma when we get there, is the wind. It's been so windy that we just have to put our slides back in. Greg is very anal
I am.
about the slides. He's worried about the toppers blowing off,
And the motors
or
wearing
the slide not closing or not opening fully, and so
The living room slide's real big, and it's a lot of area that the wind can affect. The bedroom slide is not nearly as big, probably 1/3 the size, so it's not too bad putting that one out.
But when we have the living room slide closed,
that's right.
we have about this much walking room. We
Excuse
can't
me.
both walk.
Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we're managing.
We're managing, yeah. We're having fun.
Yeah, it's been good.
You know what? I want to thank, if they're watching, I don't know if they ever watch, KRV RV up in Jeanette, Pennsylvania. Before we left in July of last year, they installed, I think it's called Right Track on the front end of the RV as a last effort to combat the driving in the wind, and it has done remarkable. Normally when driving in the wind, you know, the rumble strips on the side of the road, like that. I think I only hit them once or twice, and it's been very windy, and trucks are blowing by us. So Terry and Larry, thank you guys. Great job. Really appreciate it.
And one more thing I wanted to say
Go ahead.
is about our physical appearance.
Go ahead.
Greg definitely needs a haircut. It's getting real long. It's curling into his ears now. And my hair has never been this long. But
Yeah.
it's good, I guess.
I think I'll let mine grow so
old.
I can comb it back. Although I got this big area right here, I can't comb anything back, but that's my thought. My brother-in-law Luke he started combing his hair back. I thought,
Yeah, it looks good
that
on
looks
Luke.
good. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I thought I'd try it. A little bit of sad news. You folks that saw the last video, you learned that Bob and Ted picked up a friend in Roswell, New Mexico, Al. Well, unfortunately, we don't know where Al is. He did leave his driver's license. Here it is. I could read you the details. If you see him, please let him know that Bob and Ted missed him terribly, and we'd like to have him back. Sex is yes. He's 3'2", weighs about 35 pounds, and his eyes are black and his head is green. And it says here he's an organ taker, but I wouldn't be too alarmed about that. He seemed pretty friendly to us, so if you see him, let us know. Love to have him back.
Yeah, miss you, Al. Come on back.
Mary hates this part of these videos.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Well, enjoy the video.
Yeah. See you guys on the flip side. See ya.
Well, back again, because we forgot to tell you a couple things that we actually did while we were in these couple state parks. In both state parks, because of the weather, we really didn't do a whole lot, so we ended up going to museums instead. So in Portales, though, we did go to an enchantment winery for lunch.
Vineyard.
Oh, vineyard. That was real good. And in Tucumcari, we went to the historical museum in Tucumcari. We went to a dinosaur museum and a railroad museum. You'll learn all about those in this video. Hope you enjoy it.
And if you hear the motorcycle noise in the back, I'm sorry, that's our neighbors. He rides it to the restroom. When we left Roswell, New Mexico, just north of Roswell, we got onto Route 70 and took it north. Route 70 takes us all the way up to Portales and through Portales, until we hit the turn to go to on New Mexico 467 to go to the Oasis campground. The view, once again, as always, look to the left, far as you can see, nothing. Look to the right, far as you can see, nothing. An occasional collar once in a while.
The town of Portales was pretty small. We did end up going to Mass at St. Helens. It was a beautiful church. This was a longer Mass than we were used to. It was about an hour and a half long Mass. They had guitars, no organ. It was all guitars and a choir. Beautiful Mass.
Here we are on New Mexico 467. It's just a couple miles down, and you saw the sign to make a left into Oasis State Park. That's a trooper right there on the right-hand side, just for your information.
We're arriving at Oasis State Park.
There are 3 separate campgrounds at Oasis State Park. The first one's Indian Grass. It was for small configurations. It had electric, I think water also. Then there was the Hidden Campground, which was primitive camping. And then the final one was Cottonwood, was where we were at, which had full hookups.
The campground that we stayed in was very flat. It was, here comes our site right now, although we're going to pass it right up just to show you what the campground looked like. Most of the sites were level, full hookups. Pretty empty there, but it was a pretty nice campground.
The campground was very quiet, but very windy also, which restricted some of our activities.
The walk around the lake was a nice walk. The lake is very small. The whole walk was maybe a mile long, if that. It was well marked, gravel, and
About it.
that's it.
Well, we actually walked around the lake twice. The first day, hardly anybody there, but they must have stocked it with trout, because the next day we walked, there were quite a few fishermen there. It was probably around 10 o'clock in the morning we walked that day, and one fellow already hit his limit. He had 6 rainbows in his basket.
There's another trail. This one's all sandy. Hard to tell where it is, but we'll see where it goes.
At least we got one real nice sunset while we were here. One of the RV channels we watch on YouTube is Chasing Our Sunshine. It's Deb and Joel and their dog Maya. When they passed through Oasis State Park, they mentioned Enchanted Vineyards as a place they stopped by, so we decided to stop there also.
The day we were there, we met Courtney and James. They were the staff that was working. Really friendly. We also had some yummy appetizers, and believe it or not, I know I bought a shirt there, but so did Greg.
The ride from Oasis State Park to Ute State Park was about 100 miles. Coming out of the campground, we made a left on 467. Took it down to 60 and 60 west, and then we took 268 north, then 209 north till we got to I-40 interstate. On I-40, we only went to one exit. We exited and we got on to 54, Route 54 to Ute Lake. That ride was a little longer than it should have been for a reason you'll see.
On the right, you'll see the brown sign for Ute Lake State Park. Our GPS told us to turn, so we turned here, but we shouldn't have.
In 4 3/4 miles, head to Ute Lake State Park, Mine Canyon, on the right.
So we kept driving and driving, hoping that we'd find the campground. We could see the lake, thought we're getting close, but that's really a long way off. Eventually we did pull over and called the campground and learned that we turned on the wrong Ute Lake sign. We had another 20 more miles to go to the place where we were supposed to turn. We were tired, frustrated, but we eventually made it. All the sites in this area were drive-throughs, the ones on the left-hand side. They were long. Ours was over 200 feet long. In the summertime, I'm sure it's quite hot here because there's no shade anywhere. Where our site is, there was a bathhouse right behind us, just past it. Unfortunately, it was closed for the season. So the closest one was a couple miles away for a shower. We're at Ute State Park. We just started hiking the Rogers Trailhead. We're going to walk this and we're going to meet up with a couple other trailheads. I think the whole loop we have planned is about 1 mile. It's a nice day, nice and sunny, a little breezy, not too bad. Temps about 50 degrees, and they had cougar warnings on the trail, so as long as I can run faster than Mary, I'll be all right. I don't know about her though. She's back behind me. Catch up with you later. For you folks that have cats and understand cats, I mentioned it was a sunny day, and we all know that cats like to lay in the sun. So as we're filming and taking pictures, I'm constantly looking at the rocks that are exposed to the sun, hoping maybe we'd see a cougar there. We didn't notice any, not saying they weren't there though. Shortly after this next video clip, we're walking up alongside of a canyon. The path we were supposed to take, they indicated, was right at the end of the canyon. We got there was no path. We backtracked a little bit, cut up over a ridge. Eventually saw the car and made it safely back to the vehicle.
The Tucumcari Historical Museum houses thousands of items located on 3 floors of a 1903 schoolhouse, 45,000 square feet of a native landscape grounds paint a picture of early Western life in this area, from cowboy memorabilia to pioneer kitchens, from old-time Nickelodeons to Indian artifacts dating back to 12,000 BC. With 4 outdoor and indoor exhibits arranged in storytelling fashion and with care to detail, visitors can walk away feeling that they fully know Tucumcari's past. And when we're saying that this museum had a lot of stuff, it surely did. You could spend hours at this museum. The TP Curios building opened as a Gulf gas station in 1944. In 1948, it was a grocery, meats, and curios store. In 1960, it became a trading post. The gas pumps were lost and the TP entry was added when Route 66 was widened in 1959 or 60.
Something unique and interesting, the interior of this coffee shop. All the brickwork had names, dates, and locations where the people came from across the United States, Asia, and Europe. Very interesting.
The Tucumcari Railroad Museum allows you to visit the exhibits in the restored Union Station Depot, originally built in 1926. You can explore the many historical aspects of the railroad industry in eastern New Mexico from the 19th century to the present day. Discover the fascinating history of the Southern Pacific and Rock Island Railroads, along with their predecessors and their development from El Paso, Texas to Liberal, Kansas, from the Civil War to their eventual combination into today's Union Pacific Railroad. The exhibit hall at the Mesaland Community College's Dinosaur Museum houses a host of replicated and original fossils, from tiny footprint casts to the 40-foot-long skeleton Torvosaurus, a rare carnivore relative of the T-Rex. The museum's focus is on the Mesozoic period, which is also known as the Age of Dinosaurs. The museum cultivates specimens from exclusive local dig sites.
This was a very nice museum. It was well laid out. The exhibits were well maintained, well lit, a lot of variety. We would strongly recommend, you could spend probably an hour and a half there going through, maybe even a little bit longer, going through, looking and reading all the information there. Highly recommend this.
It's time for the 2024 Farmer's Almanac Tip of the Week. And in all of our travels, we have come across a lot of open range or free range cows out everywhere along the road. So when I was looking through my book, I found some interesting facts about cows. The new and up and coming thing, I guess, about cows. One of them is there's a dairy farmer in Canada that built a freestall barn that could house 110 Holstein cows and an automated system, milking system. The system undercarriage has a robotic arm with suction cups that automatically detects where to attach to the cow. Each cow will wear a neck band unique to them with their electronic number, leaving them free to feed, rest, socialize, and be milked as desired. The cow may decide that they want to be milked up to 5 times a day, in which case, upon entering the milking crate, the cow would be rewarded with sweetened haylage, which is the most tender early stage of the hay crop. The sensors also record how many liters of milk each cow produces, the butterfat content of the milk, and even how many miles per day that cow walked. It's just like the cow having their own GPS or, smartwatch on them. Another interesting thing that I saw here about cows, let me find it here. Cattle cooped up in barns were fitted with virtual reality headsets that simulated the experience of being outside in a beautiful green pasture. In the study, the mellowed out moors produced 23% more milk. And Greg and I did that virtual reality thing, and that was really cool. My last little bit of information is going to be a question of the day, and I'll give you the answer next week. But if you think you know the answer, put your answer in the comment below. Here's the question. A man went into the store and bought $70 worth of goods with a counterfeit $100 bill. The clerk gave him $30 back in change, in good money. So my question to you is, how much money did the store lose? So let me know your answer in the comments below. And once again, thanks for watching.